Hey everybody, it's been a long time since I made a video on my channel, I know, and I'm sorry. Now the holidays are here and, well, they're just here. There have been different videos of people kind of talking about their favorite Christmas memories. I don't really have a favorite Christmas when I was a kid. I've had some great Christmases since I've been older, but as a kid, and not to say we didn't get some good gifts, because we did, just to let you know it wasn't all bad, but my most memorable Christmas was 1973. In order to tell you about my memorable Christmas, it really starts back in maybe October of that year. I was in second grade, and I had Miss McWilliams, who had really big hair. So during the course of the year, at least the first half of the year, I was always complaining that I wasn't feeling well. And at first, Miss McWilliams was very sympathetic, sending me to the nurse's office. I had no fever, I wasn't vomiting or anything. So, they would send me back, and it was sort of a chronic thing for me to complain that I wasn't feeling well. And I guess in all fairness to Miss McWilliams, after a while she was like, whatever, all you need to do is go to the bathroom, is what she would say. But things didn't get better, and I kept complaining that I wasn't feeling well, and the year was going on, and um, fast forward to the I think it was the Friday before Christmas. We were having our Christmas party at school. As the day went on, I wasn't feeling well, and um, I guess I must not have looked very well either, because I complained to Miss McWilliams again, and she said, okay, go to the nurse's office. So I went, and I had a fever of 102. And at that point, the nurse calls my mom and tells her I have a fever, and you know, do you want to stay at school or not? Or I could have come home, but I wanted to stay because it was our Christmas party, and I wanted to be there for that because we had sort of looked forward to it for quite some time. So I said, I really want to stay, and so the nurse and my mom talked that I could stay at the party, but I couldn't eat anything because they didn't want me to, hurl everywhere, because they weren't sure what was going on, but that I did have a temperature, and so I did. I stayed, and I felt really, really bad. I remember just sort of sitting there and drinking some apple cider and not having a good time because I felt so poorly. I got home and my parents, I remember they were in their bedroom, and I went in there and I told them, how badly I felt, and I really thought at that point I should go to the doctor, and they were like, whatever. My older sister's watching television, and I, being a pain in the ass or whatever, walked over and turned the channel. This was way before remote controls, so if you were close to the TV, you could turn the channel, and I did, because I apparently was not interested in what she was watching. And she got mad at me, told me to change the channel, and I said no. Words were exchanged, uh, and then at some point she hit me in the stomach, and I doubled over and was not able to stand back up. And I remember just the pain was excruciating, and I couldn't stand back up. But I do remember sort of walking bent over into my parents' room and telling them that they had to take me to the hospital because this was not good. And I don't know if I just don't remember if at that point I did look like I was in terrible pain, or um, what sort of made them change their mind. But I went in and it demanded that I go to the hospital. And I'm 7. Uh, and that I couldn't stand up straight. And I remember my mom trying to straighten me up, and, just screaming in pain. And so they said, okay, everybody in the car, we're going to go to the hospital. And we're going to the hospital, and the whole way there, my sister is sitting next to me. She's faking it. She's faking it. And I was so sick that I just was like, whatever. If she was trying to spark a fight, I was too sick to care. We get to the hospital, and everybody gets out of the car and starts going toward the emergency room. And I get out of the car as well, not able to stand upright. And I remember walking bent over into the emergency room. And what I thought about years later is why one of my parents did not pick me up and carry me into the emergency room. I don't know, but I remember them making me walk in, which, is not right, in my opinion. I don't know why I'm surprised. Frankly, I don't know why I'm here acting surprised because it was par for the course for their behavior that they wouldn't carry me into the emergency room, considering I couldn't really walk very well. So they're all already in there, and 10 minutes later, it feels like I finally, make it in because I can barely move. And they take me into the back. And I remember my parents didn't go with me into the back room in one of the exam rooms. Um, I'm not sure why, if it just wasn't that they didn't do that back then or what. But I remember I was in there by myself. And for a little bit, there was a nurse there, and then the doctor came in and was asking me questions and pushing and, on different parts and whatever. And then I distinctly remember him going over to the counter and getting a glove and putting on some um, gel on his fingers. And at the time, I had no idea what was coming, not even a clue. All I know is that I'm in a tremendous amount of pain, and I kind of curled up. And I'm still not even sure exactly which way he went in, but I had to pull my pants down, and yeah, he did something, and whatever he touched was very, very painful. And he's like, "Oh, okay, okay, well, um, you're gonna have to get your appendix out tonight because it's they're ready to go." And at this point it was about 10:30 p.m. So the doctor goes out there and tells them I'm going to have surgery that night. And they whisked me away to the room, and I had surgery and was in the hospital for a week because I couldn't keep anything down at that point. So, back then they would have kept me for a few days anyway, but because I just couldn't, they kept giving me orange juice and I kept throwing it up. And to this day, I cannot drink orange juice. My mom did stay with me. She would spend the night at the hospital and go home during the day, which was nice. And I got to go home Christmas Eve. And then I couldn't do anything because I was, recovering still. The upside was when I went back to school after the break, Miss McWilliams kissed my ass for the rest of the year because I wasn't faking it. And I just wasn't a pain in the ass. So when she realized that I really was sick and that appendicitis does not come on suddenly, that whole time of me complaining, I really was not feeling well. And I'm sure I was complaining at home too. And I don't know. I don't know why Miss McWilliams didn't call my mom and say, why is your child complaining she's sick every single day for a couple of months? I mean, what's going on at home? Something, I don't know. Are teachers more proactive now, or would they have done that? I don't know. I don't think she called as far as I know, because my parents never talked to me about it. But that's not unusual either. And then, of course, my parents never took me to the doctor, you know, either until it was, absolutely mandatory. So that is my most memorable Christmas. Um, it is what it is.